it's just a big commotion. So I was just letting the fans just kind of relax. Like we're not here to hurt anyone. It's a basketball play, and that's what it's going to do. We're going to continue to make basketball plays, and it's going to be physical, is what we're trained to do. But that was my biggest thing, was just kind of be a fan. Yes, cheer for your team. That's okay. But at the same time, this is our job. I'm not going to hurt E-Dub, and she knows that. I'm actually checking to make sure she's okay. So I don't like the instigating. It doesn't help our game. It doesn't grow our game. So that's what I was telling people, just to kind of relax. Like, it's okay.
The Las Vegas Aces were expected to win their third title in a row, but things are going downhill fast. They've lost 3 games in a row. Their defense is weak and letting in too many points. Yet somehow, Aya Wilson is still being praised like an MVP. While people keep calling her the queen of basketball, there's another player out there who's breaking records, leading her team to wins, and playing even better. Hint, it's not Aya Wilson.
And this is a problem is that in general, when it comes to WNBA talk, you cannot say that A'ja Wilson's not the best player in the world when she's not. Nafisa Collier is on a 7-0 Minnesota Lynx team and is averaging 26.3 points at 8.3 rebounds per game, and she's doing it on 51% from the field and 45%.
The Las Vegas Aces have lost 3 games in a row, something that hasn't happened since 2019. That was back when Bill Laimbeer was still the coach, and we all know how that ended. But here's what's surprising: even with this bad start and a record that would worry any fan, Aya Wilson is still being praised like she's carrying the whole league by herself.
Before Clark's injury, she was under 115 to win the award, while Collier sat at over 160. But as of earlier this week, Collier now sits at under 175 to win the award, while Clark's MVP odds lengthened to over 250. Collier's averaging almost 30.7 rebounds and 3 assists, and the Lynx are currently undefeated, sitting first in the
Meanwhile, in Minnesota, there's a player named Nafisa Collier who's showing what real MVP-level basketball looks like. And the difference between her and Aya? It's so clear, it's blinding. Let's look at the stats, because numbers tell the truth, even when people don't. Aya Wilson is averaging 22.8 points and 10.5 rebounds per game. That's solid, and it keeps her name in the spotlight. But here's the problem: those stats aren't turning into wins for a team that's supposed to be one of the best.
A'ja shouldn't have won MVP last year. She has all these pieces, all these big names, and they're struggling. They're struggling. Visa Collier has, if we're going band for band, Visa Collier has way less help. We're talking about superstardom. And she had a team in the finals, and right now they're 3-0, 4-0. She's at
Aya? She's been just okay. Now look at Nafisa Collier. She's putting up 26.3 points, 8.3 rebounds, and hitting 51.4% of her shots. And guess what? Her team is 7-0. That's not just good, that's pure dominance. That's the kind of play that makes you stop and say, now that's what an MVP looks like.
If a WNBA game was as long as an NBA game, Nafisa Collier would be averaging more points per game than anyone, men or women. She's averaging 30 points per game this season, and her spin move to the left and the pull-up might be the most unguardable shot in all of basketball. If you're on her back and you see her start to turn over that right shoulder, just start running down to set up the offense. And if she gets a head of steam going to the basket, she can put on the brakes or blow by you to scoop to the rim. She can score pretty much any way she wants as long as she's in the paint. She's even got the little Dirk fadeaway. Dog. Oh, and she's shooting 54% from 3. After winning Defensive Player of the Year last season, it looks like she's got her sights set on MVP.
The Las Vegas Aces 2025 season has been all about falling short of expectations. Once seen as an unbeatable team, the 2-time defending champions started the season with a rough 92-78 loss to the New York Liberty, then got crushed 102-82 by the Seattle Storm. Their defense has gotten worse too, dropping from a 97.7 rating in 2023 to 99.6. Head coach Becky Hammon says it's because the team is missing that old-school accountability. Through all this mess, Aya Wilson, the Aces star forward and reigning MVP, is still getting all the attention and praise. But over in Minnesota, Nafisa Collier is quietly dominating. She's scoring 26.3 points and grabbing 8.3 rebounds per game, leading the Lynx to a flawless 7-0 record. The Aces' problems aren't just bad luck, they go deeper. Candace Parker suddenly retired in April 2024, which hurt the team's depth and leadership. That left Wilson, Kelsey Plum, and Jackie Young to do too much. Without Parker, the team had to make quick changes, trading Plum to the Sparks and bringing in Jewel Lloyd. But it hasn't worked. The bench is so weak that even Wilson's 31-point game against New York couldn't cover up the team's issues.
Wrong. The Las Vegas Aces are 4-2 on the season, She is averaging 23, 10.5 rebounds, 4.2 assists, and a lot of steals on 47% from the field and 26% from three. So Fia is shooting 4% better from the field, 20% better from three. All right, I'm saying that? Yeah, 20% better from three. And she is also not statistically as good a defender, but she's a better defender. She's still averaging a crazy amount of stocks, but she is the better defender because she's more versatile. She defends better on the perimeter. She's not as good a shot blocker, which AJ Wilson is, but she actually guards people. AJ Wilson just chills under the basket. And in terms of getting in passing lanes, they're very similar. So, Fia is the best player in the world.
Now here's where it gets really interesting. Aya Wilson, Vegas star, is getting all the media love, the highlights, and non-stop praise. But quietly, Napheesa Collier is becoming the MVP favorite, with 170 odds to win. Think about that. Wilson's stats, 22.8 points and 10.5 rebounds per game, look great on paper, but they're coming from a team that isn't working. The Aces used to be known for their strong defense, but now they give up 10 three-pointers a game, second worst in the league. Remember the 28-point collapse against Chicago in 2022? Wilson had 20 points and 18 rebounds, but it didn't matter. The Sky destroyed them with fast breaks and better discipline. Jump to 2025, and Seattle's 75-70 win told a similar story. Wilson scored 19, but the Storm shot 43.1% overall and 36.4% from three, showing how weak Vegas defense has become in big moments. Wilson's stats are still strong, but they're starting to feel disconnected from actual winning. The betting experts, people who track performance closely, now have Collier as the clear MVP favorite. Wilson's odds? Plus 700. Not even close.
I have Napheesa Collier winning Defensive Player of the Year this season. Like I said, I think she is coming back into this season with a vengeance, and I saw so much good defense from her in Unrivaled, and I think that's one thing about Unrivaled in that 3-on-3 full court format, and even with the one-on-one games that we saw, players were getting exposed if they weren't able to guard one-on-one on defense, and Napheesa is somebody who exposed a lot of players with her defensive abilities, with her blocking abilities, with how quick she has gotten. She continues to elevate her game, and so I have her as a favorite, as my favorite for Defensive Player of the Year.
Even WNBA general managers are starting to see the truth. In their yearly survey, 67% picked Napheesa Collier as the MVP favorite. Aya Wilson only got 25%, and Kelsey Plum got 8%. When the people who actually build teams say Collier is the clear MVP, it's probably time to take notice. Look at how Collier started the season. She dropped 34 points in the opener against Dallas. That wasn't just a strong game, it was a message. The kind of performance that keeps coaches up at night. Then she scored 23 more against the Sparks. Her 57 points in 2 games were the most by any Lynx player since Maya Moore started the 2014 season with 67, and Maya won MVP that year. The way people talk about Wilson and Collier couldn't be more different, like they're coming from 2 different worlds. Wilson gets the "she's carrying her team" praise, even though the Aces are struggling. Meanwhile, Collier gets a quiet "she's playing well" label, even though she's leading an undefeated team. Let's be honest about what's going on in Vegas. This isn't just a slow start or some early season mistakes. The Aces have real issues. Their defense, which used to be their strength, is now giving up nearly 10 threes a game, second worst in the league. They're playing slower, getting fewer assists, and they're missing their key playmaker, Chelsea Gray.
When you're watching this team, you can tell that something is off on both sides of the floor. This could be due to not having built the chemistry they need with the new addition of Jewel Lloyd, but this is still unacceptable output by this team. We're talking about a team that literally coming into this season, a lot of people had contending for a championship. And it doesn't look like they're